Hello, I'm Christopher Bayliss from Fast Growth Online. Thank you for downloading the Fast Growth workbook entitled Create Your Successful Strategic Alliances. Today, during this video, I'm joined by Tim Bishop from Benifits and Bishop. Tim, thank you very much for giving us your precious time.
My pleasure.
Before we start looking at the workbook, can you just share with our viewers what your firm or company does, please?
We are a law firm based in southern England, and we provide a full range of legal services to private and business clients, both locally, regionally and nationally.
Mm-hmm. And internationally as well sometimes?
Sometimes we do, yes. We have clients around the world, from Ukraine to the West Indies, yes.
Okay. And what is your role?
My role as senior partner is I'm responsible for business development and leadership, and I also play an ambassadorial role.
In a moment we're going to look at this particular workbook, but first I just want to set the scene and look at the context of why successful strategic alliances can be very important to companies. We're here in Salisbury, the home of Name Audio. You may not know Name Audio, but it's a very successful £40 million audio company, and they have a very successful strategic alliance with Bentley cars here in England in Crewe, owned by Volkswagen, and all Bentleys for the last 5 years have Name Audio systems in them. And I was speaking to the MD of Name Audio recently, and he said actually they regard us not so much as a supplier, but very much as a strategic partner going forward. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So, coming down to your firm, and approximately how many staff do you employ?
We've got about 50 staff.
50 staff, so it's nice. Can you just share with us what you've either done or planning to do in terms of joint ventures and this?
Well, we've done a number of things in the past, sometimes as informally as simple referral arrangements, and we've found this workbook very useful in going through those to identify the right people and to create a structure and a plan, and that's been successful. But the one we're most excited about is a potential joint venture. We're at an early stage at the moment with a financial advice company, but we're very excited. I think it could be one of the largest, most successful projects we've done. But we're going to use this on an ongoing basis to review the progress. So we've started a plan, and we'll continue to use this workbook to see this project grow.
Great. And is that a 50-50 joint venture?
If it goes to where we think it will be, yes, it is a 50%.
So at the moment it's just a strategic alliance?
It's very loose at the moment as a trial period, but again, using all the stuff in the workbook to make sure we're going in the right direction, and if it works within 2 years, it should be a full joint venture.
Great. Okay. And where do you see it in 5 years' time?
Having provided me with a very good pension.
Great. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at the workbook. You've got one in front of you. Can I ask you to read the focus and the purpose, please, Tim?
The Fast Growth Workbook for you to create your successful strategic alliances. The purpose of this workbook is to assist you to assess the potential of a strategic alliance for your company and create your purpose for a successful alliance. The goal is that within 12 months, through your successful strategic alliances, you substantially increase your business growth.
And some of the companies I work with, their main platform for growth is successful alliances. And this work is useful for getting your thinking sorted out. So I'm going to share a couple of hints with you. And hint number one is on page 1. If you turn to page 1, what are the benefits? And there's a quote there about what a strategic alliance is, but it's basically a relationship between two companies to pursue a set of agreed upon goals while remaining independent organizations. So this alliance with this financial services company, they will keep their independence.
Absolutely.
So will you, but you've got a goal for the combined thing.
If it works, it'll be a separate, jointly owned company.
Yeah. Could you read some of the benefits there that people find from this?
Yes, of course. 6 main benefits. Strategic alliances often give partner companies 1. Reduced costs through economies of scale. 2. New business through joint marketing. 3. Increased access to new technology. 4. Entry to new markets. 5. Reduced cycle time. And 6. Improved research and development.
And what I'm asking the viewer to do is to identify which benefits apply to their company. Please asterisk them. It might be 1, it might be 2, it might be 3. For this venture that we've been talking about with this financial services organisation, which 1 or 2 of those 6 is particularly relevant to you?
I suppose it's 2 of them. It's number 2, which is new business through joint marketing, but also we are not a financial advice firm, so effectively we'll be doing number 4, the entry to new markets.
Super. Okay. And also with most of these workbooks, do some analysis, some assessment, and then draw your conclusions. And what's your conclusions on the above in relation to that joint venture, which is still, that's in the future. What's your conclusions about it?
It's got huge potential. It's all a question of implementation, but we've tried lots of things in the past. Some have worked, some haven't. But this one, all the work we've done, the research we've done, I'm pretty sure this one's going to fly.
So hint number 1 is, what's the strategic problem with alliances? Okay. On page 2, we list some information for you. And in the centre of the page, we talk about the conflicts that you may encounter if you go down this route. That managing conflicts could or can occupy 80% of management's effort in running alliances. This can be greatly reduced by open communications processes. So there's some key questions to consider. Tim, could you just read it from your workbook there?
Of course. Number 1, does promoting other companies come into conflict with your professional services? Number 2, how much do you trust other companies? Do they consistently deliver what they promise? And thirdly, what crucial things could an alliance partner do to damage your relationship with your customers?
Okay, and can you give us an example of perhaps where you did hit a major problem?
Yes, over the years certainly we've made hundreds of thousands of pounds, I think, from various forms of alliances. But one particular one where I think we have had problems with trust was a financial services company. We were passing work to them, not getting too much back, and then they had some very significant internal problems which we should have known about, and they simply didn't tell us. The trust has evaporated, we've stopped working with them, and that's come down to trust, and we no longer trust them, I'm afraid.
And that's over, it's moved on.
We have moved on.
Mm. Okay, so hint number 1, if you're going to go into this, be aware there can be problems, and you certainly don't want to be spending 80% of your time managing conflicts. Okay, hint number 2, hint number 2 is on page 4. Assess how ready your company is for a strategic alliance. There's a neat little 7-question profile there for you to look at. Tim, can you just read maybe the top 2 there, just to put the thing in context?
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is outstanding and 1 is barely adequate, how open is your company to sharing information and strategy externally? And secondly, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your attitude towards sharing learning and knowledge externally?
Okay, so objectively work through those 7 questions, score yourself. The maximum score you could score is 70. And at the bottom there, it says if you score between 0 and 24, it says look at internal operation of company before forming alliances. If it's between 25 and 47, form strategic alliances with care in understanding the details. And then finally, 46 to 70, make strategic alliances a key strategy for your business growth. And then draw your conclusions. So how does your law firm stack up against these?
Well, sadly, no one's perfect. But I have to say, if there's something we're really good at, it's openness. As a firm, we are very, very open. And therefore, I think we've got a far greater chance than some firms of succeeding in joint ventures and strategic alliances because we're open and we do communicate.
Yep. Okay, thanks, Tim. Okay, and finally, if you turn to page 5, Tim, create your purpose for your potential strategic alliance. This is so crucial. Many people go into things and you say, well, what is the purpose of this? And I don't know, it just seems something that just seems to happen. So for potential strategic alliances, it's vital that the 2 parties get clear about their purpose. And there's a fabulous little 1-page planner to help you do that, which is on page 5 there. And I would highly recommend you don't do anything, even if you get high scores for your assessment, Don't do anything until you've actually got that really clear. And that is really the heart of this particular workbook. Okay? Tim, you've got a very exciting future ahead for this company. May I wish you every success with that particular strategic alliance, and I hope it blossoms into a really successful joint venture. Thank you so much for giving me your precious time today, and thanks again.
My pleasure, Christopher.